time because her topic is so cool and she is so absolutely fabulous. So I have hit record and just want to tell you a little bit about Elizabeth. Elizabeth and I met through the Junior League of Austin, and I think one of our first encounters was her. Hi, Harper Spinelli, cutest dog ever. So Elizabeth, I think one of our first encounters was her getting me to wear a tutu and dance around a Christmas tree as she was a children's party chair for a Christmas affair. Many Christmas affairs later and other Junior League placements has become one of my dear friends and someone that I can't live without from a leverage perspective. Elizabeth has a wardrobe and fashion styling consulting business, which I'll make her tell you more about. But for those of you that know me, I don't have a lot of creativity as far as makeup, hair, home, clothes. And Elizabeth takes care of a big chunk of that and organized my closet, told me what staples I was missing, shop for me when I have special events or big trips, does that. She has much bigger and more glamorous clients than I do, or than I am. But she's just become such a key piece of my world, not just as a friend, but I would say as a key component to keeping me moving forward and showing up as my best self. So glad y'all could all join us. She shares some tips. I'm going to put it on speaker view. I recommend that you put it on speaker view because she'll be showing us a lot of things and we want to make sure that we can see what she's showing us. So Elizabeth, I'll let you take it away.
Thank you so much, Holly. First things first, what kind of view should I be
in? Oh,
hello.
Hi.
Hi, Miss Kayla. We're glad you're here. Elizabeth, just stay in whatever view you want, because if you want to be able to see everyone, if they might have questions, or
okay.
I'm happy to manage the chat as well.
Okay.
Whatever you're comfortable in.
Okay, so I'll just leave it like this for now. I'm gonna chat and share tips, but I also have some show and tell behind me and then kind of off to the side here, and I'll just kind of roll with it. So anyway, happy Friday, you guys. I'm so happy to be here. And before I get started, I have to share, today I was reminded of Lisa's tips from Wednesday and Leah's tips from Sunday when I was working on my skincare and my makeup. So these happy hours have been so beneficial already, and just excited to see what you have moving forward. So let's get started in talking about closets and organizing. So I love this topic, and I'll back up just a little bit. Holly mentioned a little bit about my business, and so, you know, some people might call me a stylist, some people might call me a wardrobe consultant, a personal shopper, an organizer. I actually focus on all of those specific details because I think they're so important to having a well-rounded wardrobe and looking stylish. Today, we're going to talk about closet clean out and organizing, but I also cover personal shopping and styling and so forth. So, however, I think it's so important to start with your closet and cleaning it out and organizing to have a good foundation. Sometimes it's not really a sexy topic. People want to start with shopping and styling, but I think you have to really focus on your foundation before you can start adding more clothes in there. So now is a perfect time to dive into those closet projects. We aren't going a lot of places right now, and we're at home. And so today I'm just going to share with you some quick, fast rules to cleaning out your own closet and how you can do it. So the first thing is when you're cleaning out, what are the things that we clean out? And so I like to focus on clothes, shoes, all of your accessories. So that's your purses, your handbags, your belts, your scarves, and then go in a little bit deeper. Also clean out your pajamas, your workout clothes, your socks. Really focus on everything. So I think before you get started, it's important to kind of be realistic about the time frame, kind of set that time frame as to how long this is going to take. So, and by the way, you guys, please jump in if y'all have any questions, because I'll just talk forever about this. And I know Holly will be watching the chat, so I'm not going to be monitoring that. So if y'all have any questions along the way, please jump in. Okay, so realistic, when you're cleaning out, I would plan for 2 hours. Just kind of set aside 2 hours to knock it out. Some people are faster, some people are slower. Before you dig in and start cleaning out, I think it's really important to get into the right frame of mind. So there's a couple of things that I personally like to do. So I like to plan for the right time frame. So when I'm doing that, I like to do it earlier in the days because I have a fresh brain at that point. Some people later at night, that's a better time for them. It's a little bit more calm and they can focus. So think about when is the best time that you can be efficient with your time in your closet. And so once you figured out the timing, I would then kind of get yourself pepped up. For some people, this is so emotional. Other people, it's not. And so the things that I like to do to get in that right mindset is think about, be realistic. So think about, is this something that every piece that you go through, are you a sentimental person? If you are, try to find a place outside. Are you raising your hand, Sarah, because you are a sentimental person, or you have questions? Okay, so
She's
I would
sentimental.
do it.
She's sentimental.
Well, I think that's an important thing to consider because there are a lot of people, and I said can be emotional for some people. So really kind of identify if you are one of those people. And I see a lot of times in closets, maybe a dress my clients wore on a first date, um, a lot of wedding dresses, family pieces, um, you know, you have a story for everything. I see that, Melissa. And that is true for a lot of people. What you should think about when you're cleaning out is this something that I wear on a regular basis? If it is something that is sentimental and you're not wearing on a regular basis, find a place outside of your closet to store that. I'm not telling you necessarily to get rid of it, but find a place that you can store it outside of your closet. Your closet should be reserved for pieces that you wear daily. Put it in your costume closet. Oh my gosh, it's distracting to see these comments. Okay, back to focus on and getting in the right mindset. The other part of cleaning out that's really hard for people is the amount of money that you have spent. There's a lot of guilt in cleaning out a closet. And so a lot of people think, oh, I spent a lot of money on this, but yet it still has the tags, or they got a really good deal on that and they're still proud about that, but they yet still have not worn it. I can go down a long list. There's also things, a lot of women maybe fluctuate weight. And so these are my skinny clothes, these are my fat clothes. I hear that a lot too. And so try to be honest with yourself. If these are something that they're your skinny clothes. If you do lose weight, are you really going to want to wear those again? Or are those things that you're going to want to try to buy something new? So there's a long list of things that you can go through your mind and when you're getting in that right mindset. A couple of other things. I like to turn on music. That helps me just zone out. I'm really calm when I can do that, and really helps me to stay focused. And the last thing I'll share with you when you are cleaning out and trying to get into the right mindset is I have this rule of thumb that I use in my own closet, and I always try to remind my clients of. If you're on the fence when you're cleaning out the closet, when you're cleaning out your closet, there's one piece you're like, oh, I can't decide. Keep it in your closet, because if you're doing it right, you're cleaning out at least once a year, ideally twice a year. So if the next time you've cleaned out your closet and that item that was a maybe and you still have not worn it, that should give you a realistic idea of, okay, I'm really not going to wear this again. Any questions about any of that before I move on? I'm trying to look at the comments here.
Everyone's just loving and agrees with you.
Okay, All right. Holly, will you just tell me if there's any questions?
You got it. I'll interrupt if there's questions. If not, it's just people getting excited because they identify with what you're saying.
Okay. All right. So, okay. So what to clean out, when to do it, how long, 2 hours, the right mindset. Now, how do you actually do it? So my method when I'm cleaning out, there are really 4 categories that I use for my clients, but I would say probably 3 that you would probably do for yourself. So the first thing is I have 3 areas: donate, consign, and then dry clean, mend. And so I put like a sign on the bed that says donate, consign, dry clean, and mend is the 3rd one. And so I go through every piece of my clients, and I'm going to just tell you how I do it, and you can apply this to your closet. I go through all the items that I mentioned in the very beginning, and I look to see, is it current? Is it in good condition? Does it fit well? Does it bring me joy? If you want to do a Marie Kondo thing. And so I'm looking for those pieces that no longer fit the bill in my closet. And so I'm pulling them out, and then I would put them in, okay, are these items I'm going to donate? Are these items that I can consign? And if you want to consign them, they need to be in good condition and somewhat current. And I can give you guys a list of various places that I recommend to consign. And then the 3rd piece that I mentioned was mend or dry clean. So I'm also looking to see if there's any holes, if there's any spots, buttons that need to be replaced. So often we are in such a hurry, and we will maybe throw our clothes back in the closet, hang it back up because you get multiple wears, whatever it might be. Very often I find spots and holes that my clients aren't looking for. And so that's an important piece to also look for. So again, when you're going through everything, you want to keep in mind, do I want to pull this out to donate? Do I want to pull it out to consign? And the 3rd is to dry clean and mend. And so go through everything, like I mentioned before: clothes, shoes, all of your accessories. And I mentioned all of that because I think sometimes people just do their clothes and they don't do as thorough of a clean out and go through every piece. And it's equally important to go through all of your accessories, your belts, your purse, as much as your clothes. So any questions about cleaning out your closet? Any things that are roadblocks for you guys that you'll have a hard time getting through when you're cleaning out?
Hey, Elizabeth, we do have a question. Do you dry clean before you consign?
So for me, yeah, so they're very strict about under the armpits, wherever there might be stains. Also at the very top, you can see if things are really dusted, like a lot of suits or like that, or whatever it might be. I personally would not spend the money to clean something in the hopes that they will accept it. I'm going to share later a couple of closet tools and some of those things you can use to kind of freshen up those pieces before you take it. I don't know. I don't think I would want to spend the money that you might not get back, because here's the deal. When you take something to be consigned, it's not necessarily going to be accepted. And then also it might not necessarily sell. So why invest however much in dry cleaning? So that's just me personally.
We have another question. Do you junk areas, or do you try to get through the entire closet in just 2 hours?
What was the first part? Do I what?
Like, do you break it into chunks, or do you do the entire closet at one time?
Well, if I'm doing a client's closet, I do all of it for sure. I clean out my closet way more than 2 times a year. So I do it in chunks because I'm doing it so often. But I would recommend to just do it all in one swoop, one chunk of 2-hour time.
Awesome. Anybody have questions they want to ask, not in chat, before she moves on?
And here's the other thing. What are any of you guys having roadblocks when you are cleaning out closets? Because I did a virtual closet clean out and organize a couple of days ago. And this is someone that has cleaned out their closet pretty regularly. And honestly, I was doing a lot of coaching in the beginning just to kind of talk her through a couple of things that we just get so in our heads about why we're not letting things go. So I wonder if some of you guys, if there's certain things that you've identified that kind of stop you in cleaning out.
I think one of my major roadblocks with cleaning out my closet is anything black. Since I work as a hairstylist, my uniform is almost completely black all the time. But
Okay.
I end up holding on to hordes of like torn black T-shirts that I really don't need anymore.
So, okay, so someone asked me this the other day. What are the biggest things that you clean out? And depending on the client, there are some clients that really don't let go of super worn out clothes. So, pilly T-shirts, they get those little balls, sweaters, pit stains. So if they do not look like they're in good condition, it is time to let them go. And you should be refreshing those T-shirts, and you don't need to spend a lot on T-shirts. I mean, you can find Target ones, Gap, but there's lots of them that are like $20. So I would really pay attention to that and be honest with yourself.
Okay, we have multiple people, and I identify with this. When we work through the process, we lose steam or enthusiasm because we start getting bummed out when we're trying things on about maybe we've gained weight.
Yeah.
How do we get through that?
Well, that's a real feeling for sure. And I think that's what holds people back from even cleaning out to begin with, because they don't want to go down that emotional roller coaster. So I would say if you feel like you know yourself and that is something that you're going to do, I would invite a friend, a family member. I would invite a second person to come and help you stay focused and stay positive. You don't necessarily have to call me for that. I mean, obviously I do that all the time, but invite a trusted person that you feel like would be honest with you, but that wouldn't make you get rid of everything or keep everything. So you need an honest person to help push you through that. And again, I would say music and champagne. That always makes it more fun too.
That's what we do, right?
Yeah.
So then one of the other things is multiple people have said, I'm at the point where I think, oh gosh, I might need this later mentally. And I'm laughing because there's a very short white denim skirt in the front of my closet that you've let me keep that I'm thinking the same exact thing. So how do we get past that?
Okay, so that is, and that's going back to that rule that I personally live by, and I have to remind my clients, is the first time you've cleaned it out, if you're like on the fence, you're not sure, so then the next time you've cleaned out, have I worn this? And I think that's an easy way to be honest with yourself. And if you haven't, and if you're really having a hard time, give yourself 2 times. It's like if you're doing it twice a year, so you're like, oh, well, the season's not right, so maybe let me wait another season, then do that. But if you haven't worn it, then you should let it go. There's reasons why some of us don't leave the house in some of these things. And I'm sure you guys can identify with that. You put it on and you're like, oh, there's something just not right. And then you hang it back up. And then you try it again. And for whatever reason, you never leave your house. On the flip side, you probably have plenty of pieces that you absolutely love. Every time you put them on, you feel fantastic. You feel like the best version of yourself. And that is the goal for every piece in your closet. And I have to remind myself of that. And also my clients, when we're shopping, okay, we want to have only 9s and 10s, the best things in our closet. And I want everything to be like that. And that's hard to accomplish that, but that's another way to think about things when you're cleaning out. So, all right. Any other questions about closet clean out?
I have one more question.
Okay, sure.
Say you share a closet with your significant other,
Okay.
and they have a lot of worn out clothes that genuinely need to go. How do you approach that?
Secretly get rid of it all. I'm just kidding. Oh my gosh.
I was gonna say they'll never know. Just
you know what?
When you're folding clothes, just some of those things, go in the trash.
So I was joking, and it sounds like Trish does this too, but that some people have done that. I cleaned up my husband's closet recently, and he holds on to a lot of things too. And I had to just kind of, plant the seed a couple of times. Okay, we're doing it. And so I don't know your significant other, but I would find the right way to get him on board, or like maybe you just let them think it's their idea. I'm not quite sure, but I would just try to find a way to get them to help you clean it out. So that's a tricky one.
We have another question, and it's from a fellow fashionista of yours, Miss Erin Cook. So,
Erin.
are there certain styles that tend to come back in style after so many years, like high-rise pants? I don't even know what a dojo jean is, etc. And then we keep them. Hopefully, they're coming back. What should we do about that?
Okay, yeah, I love this. I was actually talking about this the other day with a client. So that happens a lot. For me personally, I would only hold on to something that is of a higher quality because it's more likely going to hold up 10 years later, 15 years later. So higher quality. I have I have 2 pairs of Cole Haan boots that I bought in like 2006, and I wear them now. But I babied them, and they held up, and they're still in really good condition. So that's what I would do. And that's a tricky one because I know a lot of people want to hold on to things for that. But I would pay attention to the quality.
That's a great answer. Very helpful.
Okay, anything else before we move on? Okay, so you've cleaned out your closet, hopefully, and you are not devastated at this point. The next step is to organize. And I think I love this step just as much as cleaning out because it can make such a huge difference in your lives. And I think sometimes people don't realize until after they do it. So I actually have some things on my rack back here to demonstrate this. But the top 2, if you follow me at all, you probably are not surprised, but the top 2 things that I always talk about that can make the hugest difference in streamlining, organizing your closet is hangers and then color coordinating. So let's talk about hangers first. So with hangers, all matching hangers, and then even more so, not only matching material, but matching color. So for those of you that like the felt hangers, I would recommend that they're either all black or all ivory, whatever color. And so all these tips that I'm going to share with you as far as organizing, the idea is that it streamlines your closet. It takes away all the extra noise. It makes it easy to get dressed in the morning. It allows you to see everything. So often people have things tucked in and they don't even see half of their clothes. So again, just this is to bring some ease to your life. So the first thing I'm going to show you, right, I'm going to have to pull my computer back here, but is the matching hangers. So if you can see right here, they're not matching. And then right here, they are matching. And so not only does it obviously looks really pretty here, but the biggest thing is some of these hangers, they're not all going the same way. And so they take up extra space and are not being efficient with your space. And so again, you guys can see this here. So the next thing is.
Hey, Elizabeth, I just got a text from someone who knows that when I started working with you, I bought all felt hangers, and so did she. And so if you don't have as much space in your closet, Elizabeth does say that felt is okay as long as they're uniform.
Yeah, I think most of my clients are using felt hangers, and sometimes even if they have plenty of space. So I think the felt hangers are really great, a really great product. You don't have to necessarily use the wooden ones, but it's once you change it, and probably half of you guys are doing matching hangers already, but once you make that shift, it's huge. So, I see you, Hadley. So the other thing I just want to be more specific about the hangers is not only matching the shirts, but then also the pants and the skirts. So sometimes I see that must have the matching shirts. And then specifically with the felt ones, there's a specific one with the clips that I like best. And at the end of this, I've sourced all my favorite products, my organization products. And so Holly's going to send that to you guys. If you, I used to use a certain clip for the felt hangers, and they just are not nearly. Hi, Vicki. Holly's mom is back. We're so happy to see your face on here. Okay, so back to the hangers. So anyway, I'll send you guys the ones that I like the best, that are the best to use with. So, okay, so let's talk about color coordinating. So that is the next step that I also think makes a huge difference. So if you can see behind me, I've color coordinated this group right here. And this group that doesn't have the matching hangers is not color coordinated. So really simple how I do this. I like to do white, black, gray, and then brown taupe colors. And then Roy G. Biv backwards. So red, orange, yellow, that kind of blends in. And you can, let me just show it to you here. So I have white, black, gray. This is kind of like a goldy taupe color. And then you can see the rainbow backwards here. So again, talking about making it super efficient and easy for you to get dressed. I'm wearing this one skirt and I know that I need to put a black shirt on. So then I go specifically to the black section. And then even more so, I've only pulled solid colors here, but I like lots of patterns. So whatever the dominant color is within your pattern, I would put it within. So if it's dominant and blue is the background, then I would put that in the blue section. There are some times that it's multiple colors, and sometimes I'll just do a small section to the side with those patterns. So then even more specifically within the color coordinating, I like to organize by sleeve length. And so I have that demonstrated here as well. So I do sleeveless to short sleeve to 3/4 to long sleeve. It's kind of hard to see that. But again, if I know I need a sleeveless white shirt, I'm going to go to this small section and I'll be able to find it. So any questions about hangers, color coordinating? Okay.
Looks like we're good.
Okay. All
So
right.
I have a question.
Okay.
Do you put dresses, like if it's a white dress, that would go in a separate dress section, or would you put the dress with those white shirts?
Great question. Thank you. Okay, so I actually do this color coordinating over and over and over within my closet. So I have it one section that's my shirts. I have one section that are my dresses, and they're in the same color coordinating. My pants are hung and they're color coordinated like that. My blazers are color coordinated. I have my jeans and my shorts folded in my closet. They're all color coordinating. My sweaters, same thing. They're folded and it's the same pattern. So it's just consistent. And then if I get really OCD in some people's closets, I will even do their shoes. That doesn't work in my closet because I have all my shoes in a shoebox. But for those of you that might have your stuff out where you can see it, you could even do it with your shoes. So,
Elizabeth, and we have a request for you to repeat the colors in order again.
of course. And I can also include that with the follow-up that you send out, Holly. But basically, I start white, black, gray, and then the brown family, so browns and taupes. And then I do Roy G. Biv, so red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. That bleeds into this last one. Does that make sense for whoever asked that? Okay. And let me just say one other thing about the color coordinating. So I like to put all of my tops together and color coordinate coordinate them that way. I have some clients that organize their tops by casual tops, work tops. And so they have different sections, and that is what works for them. That's great. Do that if that makes sense for you, for your lifestyle, for your brain. I would just say all the casual tops, you color coordinate them, and all your work tops, you color coordinate them. So.
And seasonal, do you do that with seasons also?
What was it?
Like, would you have all your seasons together, or do you pull out winter at a different section of your closet?
So I think that just depends on the space that you have, and if you have a space to store those clothes or to switch those out seasonally. I never used to do that. I only started doing that about a year ago, and because I do have a guest closet that I can switch those out. But I'm a real believer in living within your means, within your closet space, and not be busting at the seams. And so, you know, if you have a bungalow house and have a super small closet, I would advise to try to live with a capsule wardrobe if you can. And if you did have a space to switch them out, that you definitely would probably want to do that with that. So yeah, I would just say live within your means, within your closet space. And if you do have an extra space to switch out seasonally, that's always a great idea.
We have another question. You mentioned folding your jeans, shorts, and sweaters. How do you keep those organized?
So I do that because that's the way my closet is configured, and it made sense. I would just say, and this is actually one of my organizing tips, just be consistent with your fold job. So if you're going to fold your jeans 3 ways or 4 ways, just do that across the board and stack them where you can see them. I might have to go in my closet and show it to you, but I think the challenge is people start getting sloppy, and then they'll push things in, and then you don't see half of your stuff. So I would just say, just be consistent. And again, I mentioned that I color coordinate them so I can find all my white jeans, all my black jeans. So does that answer whoever's question that was?
I think we're good. Keep going.
Okay. All right. So a couple more organizing tips. So hangers, color coordinating, being consistent in your folding job. Hang your clothes all the same way. And I know that seems, I don't know. So often I go into closets and half of the things are inside out, half of them are facing this way, half of them are facing that way. They're hanging off the hanger. So I would just encourage you to get into the habit of doing them all the same way, right side out, and making sure that they are hanging on your hanger the correct way. I'm wearing kind of like a gauzy shirt. If it is hanging on a hanger right here, and then you go to put it on and it sticks out right here. So I'm sure you guys have experienced that before. These are all very little things, but they add up. And the idea is that we are taking care of our clothes and preserving them so they do last. There are a couple of things that are different for each closet. And so things like dividers for your sweaters, clear dividers, or for your purses, different types of jewelry organizers. So again, it just depends on the space that you're working with. I'm again going to send you guys all the tools that I recommend for that, just to kind of give you a couple of ideas. Also shoe boxes. Some people don't do shoe boxes and they need everything out. Some people keep the original. Some have racks where they can display all of that. I'm going to link a shoe box that I like to use if you don't have the original ones and want to keep them organized that way. So there's the 2 biggest things that I started off with were the hangers and the color coordinating, that it doesn't matter what size, shape, closet you have, that applies to all of it. And then again, I'm going to link some things that would work for some closets and not the others. So do the shoe boxes work?
For heels.
For heels. So actually, I've linked 3 different types, and one is for regular shoes, one is for heels or booties, and one is for tall boots. So yeah, I have an option for that. Okay, so the next thing is, I like to go a little bit further when you are organizing your closet and think about how you can create a beautiful space for yourself. And so I like to think of it as you're creating a beautiful dressing room for yourself. And so my mission with my work is to really help everyone feel confident and great about themselves. And some of these things can just add beauty to your space. And again, everyone has a different closet size, so not all of this applies, but a couple of things to keep in mind. And I'm going to tell you what they are. And I actually have a couple of things here to show you, to give you an idea of what I'm talking about. So the first thing is, I always recommend adding an oil reed diffuser. So most people's closets don't necessarily stink, but we do have shoes, we have other things that in there that are maybe not the best smelling. And so this just adds a subtle scent to your closet space that just makes me feel good when I go and I smell that. So oil reed diffuser. I always recommend a tray if you have a built-in dresser. And this is going to be to kind of create a way that you can display your jewelry, framed photos of your family, artwork if you have space, a chair, an ottoman. I know that doesn't work for everyone. A rug is always nice. And again, there's a lot of different options depending on the configuration of what you have. So let me show you guys a couple of things.
Hey, Elizabeth, we just lost your sound when you moved.
Oh,
There, you're back.
how about now?
Yeah, you're good. Keep going.
Okay, so I'm going to link a couple of these, but this is a couple of the, I used to say oil diffuser, and then some people got some of those that are from like Young Living, but so the oil reed diffuser. So these are nice, and you can kind of tuck them in the corner. Framed photos. This is actually one I have of, it's probably hard to see, my daughter. This is one of the jewelry organizers. This is actually a bracelet stand that I like to recommend. And again, I'm going to link all of this. I'm dropping things.
I was just saying, you bought those bracelet stands for me, and I love them.
Yeah, you know, half of the battle is getting your stuff organized, but then also so you can see it. So often I go into closets, and a lot of women have their jewelry in like 5 different places. And so first getting everything together in one area, and then also getting it in a spot where you can actually see it, because then you are reminded of what you have, and then you actually wear it. So, and that's part of the stuff of what we talked about in organizing your closet. That's half the battle, is seeing everything. So I always like to recommend little catch-alls. I mean, oh my gosh, Holly, this is actually, I got this when we went to New Orleans. I got this on Jackson Square. It's just a little catch-all, and I put my wedding rings in it. So you can go shopping in your own house and have these catch-alls in different places, but I have a spot in my closet that I keep on. I have this little, I don't know if you guys can see it. It's a bunch of, it's just like a cut crystal tray, and I have all of my, my pins, my brooches. So I have them out so I can see that. And then there are a couple of things that I also linked. They are closet tools. So I like to say you have a toolbox in your house. I like to have a closet toolbox. And so those are things like this deodorant remover, lint roller, a shaver, a steamer, jewelry cleaner. There's all different types, and I'm going to link that as well. But I think it's important that you know, once you've cleaned out, once you've organized, once you've created a beautiful dressing room, then also get all of your tools ready to go, because fashion tape is another one. I mean, how often have you guys are running out to some type of event and you need to tape this down right here, but oh my gosh, I don't have that. You know, we're always in a hurry. So I would just recommend getting those basics and having them on hand. This is probably the one thing I use the most. And when we were talking about earlier, if you get your stuff dry cleaned before you take it to be consigned, I use this all the time to clean it up so I don't have to pay for getting it dry cleaned. These are amazing. Do any of y'all have these?
No.
Oh my gosh, they're the best. They really work. So, oh, the last thing that I just want to say is a full length mirror. That's another thing that a lot of us don't have. And while you might, if you don't have space in your actual closet, and your bathroom is another spot, even in your bedroom. I actually have one in my office too, but I know that's probably not normal for most people. But in your bedroom is a great place. You can find beautiful ones or simple ones, and I'm actually going to link one that is a really simple one that works for a lot of spaces. So, yeah, any questions about organizing? Beautiful dressing room, toolkits.
Where are places you can find full-length mirrors?
Okay, so the one that I linked is actually from World Market, and it is a lot more reasonable than what I paid for mine, and it looks almost exactly like mine. But you know, Anthropologie has this one that's really beautiful, and they have you know, all different sizes, and they're great pieces that can be an addition to your bedroom if you have a space for that. So I like World Market, West Elm has great options, and Anthropologie has this one that I really love.
There's nothing else in the chat right now.
Okay.
No, this has been awesome. Thank you. This has inspired me.
Well, I think half of the battle is getting ourselves pepped up and the right mindset to clean out. And I don't know, I think sometimes, I don't know, if you haven't cleaned out in a while, then you might not be anticipating the emotional part of it. And some people, it's not emotional. Everyone's different. So I think the point is just knowing yourself and getting yourself set up for success. And that looks different for each person. Y'all call me if you need a pep talk. I'll pep you up to get you in the right mindset.
I wish Riley would have been on this one, because that girlfriend needs to clean out her closet.
Oh,
Over she has until April 6th. Go.
oh yeah, that's recorded. She can watch it later.
Okay, so Tima's saying that she has deep drawers. Is there a drawer organizer type of thing?
Yes, and I actually did not link that, but I'll go back and add that so you can see it. So, Tima, what are you putting in those drawers specifically? Are you actually in your closet, Tima?
I am in my closet.
I see you.
They're like you said, jeans and shorts, but like I'd like to have them like separated, and the drawers are big enough to like maybe have some separation, but I didn't know if that was the thing, or like, do you find that at like a container store?
Yeah, there's a very specific product that you can use. I mean, I use it for my underwear and bras and bathing suits, and then also my sock drawer. I use it for that, but they are adjustable, so you can use them for whatever you want. And then there's some that are acrylic and some that are wood and some that are plastics. But I'll link that so you can see that source.
Do they also go taller, like higher?
There are some taller ones, so I'll have to look at that specifically. I don't typically
Right.
need a taller one.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll look for that for you. Good question.
Elizabeth, while people are typing more questions,
Yeah.
what are you doing right now to be able to offer services while we're social distancing? I mean, I know I'm missing you right now. If someone was excited to work with you.
So, I am like a lot of other small businesses and that I am pivoting and, shifting what I do. I was already offering online shopping. So I have a great platform for that. And you guys will see that, the stuff that I'm going to send. So I already offer online shopping. Additional things that I have added is closet clean out and organizing. And in fact, I put together a package. I wanted to do something. And so I have offered a 2-hour package that would normally be $200. I've discounted it down to $150. And so within those 2 hours, we will do a closet clean out and organizing. And then I will also source specific organizing tools for those individual clients and what they need. So shopping, the closet clean out and organizing, and I can do virtual styling. So those are the things that I'm doing at this point.
How is that working from a virtual consultation perspective?
Meaning like logistically, how am I actually doing that?
Yeah.
So I've been doing it by FaceTime. But what I typically do is I will send what to expect email. This is the time frame. We basically do a check-in. Then the client does part of the closet clean out themselves. And then we come back together, decide. And if any of you guys follow me, I actually posted one on my Insta stories, one that I did recently. So you can kind of get a visual of what that looks like. And then, like I said, I follow up with, let's say Holly was my client. Holly's homework from the virtual closet clean out and organizing. And the couple of people that I've done before, they were already doing a good job with some of their organizing stuff, but we just refined what they did. And some of these small shifts can make a huge difference. And I think that, a lot of times people are too busy and they don't want to spend the time on it. But once you actually do it, it's a major aha. And you're like, why did I not do this a long time ago? So anyway, I hope that answered your question, how I'm actually logistically doing it.
Yeah. So what we're going to do, I'm going to ask Elizabeth, I'm going to give her all of your contact information so that she can send out everything that she referenced linking to, but also so that you have her information. I've been working with her, I think, has it been 3 years now?
I think so.
Yeah. And it's been amazing. So hopefully if y'all have any questions, she'll just answer them because she's a super kind human, but she'll also put her virtual offerings in there and the links to everything. And then next week, super exciting. We have a couple of events and I'll get them out to you. But one is, I know a lot of you have expressed interest, including Elizabeth, in writing a book someday. So we have a literary agent who is going to be on. And then next Friday, Erin Cook, where are you, Erin? Wave. Erin Cook, who also has impeccable taste and designed my home. But her other, hi, Madeline. Tell Madeline to come back. Madeline also has mad design skills, but Erin and her husband own a Serve Pro franchise, and Erin's been working with homeowners to disinfect their homes. So we will be having Erin a week from today talking about how to disinfect your home and giving you some practical tips that you can use, and can share a little bit about what Serve Pro has been doing for businesses and homes, but more importantly, give us some information that we can use just to keep our families safe during this time. Any other questions for Elizabeth?
Sarah, do you have a question? No.
This is so fun. So someone texted me that I'm in business with right before we got on, and he said, "Hun, this week has been a year." And I think we're probably all feeling that right now. So thank you all for continuing to jump on these fun virtual happy hours, and to all of my friends that have these really big superpowers that I do not have, for sharing them. And I look forward to seeing all of you next week. And Elizabeth, this was awesome. And guess what I'm going to be doing tomorrow evening?
Cleaning out your closet?
Without you, I'm scared.
You got this. You got this.
Okay, y'all have a great weekend. Stay safe.
Thank you, Elizabeth.
Holly.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.